What's going on, everybody? Today we are taking a look at another LEGO Ninjago Season 13 set. This is Zane's Mino creature. So basically, it's a rhino, but it works in the mine. So you take the two together, you combine it, you get a Mino creature. So this was one of the sets I was looking forward to doing the most from this season, and now that I actually have it, let's see it and see what the set has to offer. Let's get right to it. Alright, here's the box. So you can see this is a $70 set, so the box is semi-big, but still not too big. This is set 71719 with 616 pieces. There's that. And then here, minifigures. And at the back of the box, all the play features and advertisement here showing that you can combine all these sets, builds together to create the massive board game, which is a new thing for this season, this year. So that's pretty interesting. And yeah, apart from that, nothing too fancy on the fancy side. And that is it for the box. Once again, this is a spoiler-free review. So if you have already seen the new season, please be respectful of everyone else by not spoiling what the set does and stuff in the comments. But I would strongly recommend for those who haven't seen the season yet to watch the season, because it is a really good season. You will not regret watching it. And so, basically, I'm not going to explain the lore of this Mino creature in terms of the lore. We're just going to look at this as a perspective of a set. And personally, first glance, the build, very well done. He really looks like a true creature, and yeah, awesome. Just like the way he looks, very bulky, you know, not like too. Although I do wish he does look a little bit more organic. Kind of feels like he's like a rock monster type of thing. But apart from that, he still got an organic look, which is pretty nice. Can't say I blame the designer. He/she did an exceptionally good job at making this feel more like an animal and not a machine or a monster. So that's done pretty nicely. Now, the main play feature of this Mino creature is, of course, it's a rhino. So what is the first thing you think of when you see a rhino? Well, the horn, of course. The horn right here is this big golden horn piece, first introduced in Hero Factory. Very nice. Smaller horn back there, but how the play feature works is you can move the head up and down to create a bashing, you know, because he's a rhino, he's like trying to bash it out of the way. Now how am I doing that? Simple. There's a knob at the back here, technic lift on right here, you just press on that, and there you go, you press on that, and now this bashing head. So you can, if you spam it, you can technically have him rock his head out to some really good music. That's pretty nice. But it will always, because it's on an elastic band, if you can see it down there, it will always reset itself back to the bottom. You can't permanently make the head stick like that unless you have something to resist the elastic band. But apart from that, it's stuck like that, which is fine. At least the play feature of this is functional. I will completely take it. It's done very well. There is a mouth on the head, which can open slightly, although it does look kind of weird when he opens it, in my opinion. Kind of looks like he's got a big underbite, and that looks a little bit off, in my opinion. As for the head itself, built very nicely, very nice coverage. The ears are questionable. I feel like the ears are a little bit lazily done, just for one single piece, but I guess it's fine. Yeah. Oh yes, might as well show you. There is a little secret hidden with this build that you won't really know unless you pay real close attention. And that is, if I take off a certain piece, which is this one, which I'm trying to do, but can't. There you go, I removed this. So if you remove this cheek, you will notice, hold on, this eyepiece actually is an involvement of double printed on both sides. Because instead of printing it on, making two separate pieces, printing it on different sides, they literally have the same piece printed on both sides, and that will cut down to production costs. And I think that's an ingenious idea. Really didn't see that coming, and they mask it really well with the rest of this build here, so you will never ever notice the bottom of that eye unless you completely remove this, as I just showed you right here. But apart from that, once you put this all back together, you will never ever see the other eye. That is very good. That's a sneaky little thing Lego did to cut the production costs. I totally respect them for it. Yeah. Oh yes, and these are the ears. I feel like the ears are a little bit, again, feel like they're a little bit lazily built in my opinion, but oh well. All right, so that's the head, and then as for like the legs, well, you got the two shorter ones at the back, ball socket at the bottom here, it's all ratchet up here. That's done nicely. And then the tail, oh, the tail is just this little hook, which I feel a little bit disappointed when I saw it. I was kind of hoping the tail would have a better, it will be built better, but unfortunately it's not. So nothing too much underneath the build. And this leg can't move the knees, that's fine, because the bottom here is already ball socketed. That's done pretty nicely. So you can't really move the entirety of the front of the legs, which is a little bit unfortunate. It would be nice, you can create a charging motion for the rhino as they're meant to do. But these legs the front legs here are locked in place. Kind of wish they were articulable. Not gonna lie, if they were articulable, then a kid playing with this will have lots of fun, mimicking charging motions, and you know what, just lots of things you can do. But unfortunately, it's stuck like that. But on the very top part of the legs here, it has disc shooters, which seem a little bit weird for an organic creature, but maybe it's just a mounted armor. So you press the knob back here, and then it just shoots out a disc, just like that, very easily. And of course, that gives more play for a little kid. This rhino cannot just only charge with his head, but can also shoot this white disc, which comes out on both sides. So not really quite sure the point of it, but it's still a pretty cool play feature that worked out. But of course, it's not really organically making sense unless it's just this whole piece is like an armor. Up here, got where Zane's supposed to sit to control the rhino, and then you got the banners up here. These are all sticker pieces. It's all right. The eyes are printed pieces. Forgot to mention, both of these eyes are printed. So in the end, not a bad rhino at all. Could use some work, but the designer did a pretty good job building this. So that is the main rhino build. Let's take a look at the other stuff. All right, here we have it. The side build, which of course has a purpose. It can be used for the board game, which you can play when you combine all these sets together. This is just a single segment, but if you don't look at this from a board game perspective and just look at this as a build, very nice little terrain, rocky build on an island with the lava underneath. It's done all well. And then there's a crystal behind here, spider here, and then over here is like a little trap door which you step on, and this thing kind of just falls over like that. And right up here is one of the two blades of deliverance. This is number 1, also included in many other sets. And remember, there are 2 blades of deliverance. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil the series. But there you go. That's the blade number 1. And yeah, it's just very simple, very straightforward side build, which I believe is done pretty well. So not bad at all. All the stuff you see in front of you right now are all meant for the game. Of course, this is the Spinjitzu Slam die piece, included in a lot of these sets for this season. And then this is also a spot to put your hero character. The hearts here represent the number of lives, and I believe this is where you put your accessories, weapons, everything. So these are all for the purpose of the board game. So there's that. But apart from that, not a bad side build. Can definitely use these for extra pieces. Here are the minifigures included in the set. We have 2 ninja and 2 bad guys, or yes, bad guys. And we got Hero Cole on my right, Hero Zane. Then we got Gleck, and we got Ginkgo, sorry, my bad. And let me say, for this season, I gotta say these ninja really look like crusaders. The way they're dressed, they look more like knights than actual ninjas. Not saying it's a bad thing, but it's definitely something I wasn't really expecting and really caught me by surprise, because Cole here has a big hammer, he's got a shield. That's interesting. When you take off his helmet, this whole piece is one piece. In the past it was two, now it's one. Face 2, of course, this is his Ninjago movie face. And so, if I remove the shield, that will give you access to seeing the rest of the torso build. And here's what it looks like on the back. I'm not going to take out the shoulder armor because I don't want to go through the hassle of putting it all back together. Now here's Hero Zane. Hero Zane here has a crossbow. Also shield, you can see the torso print there. And when you take off, he has a gold color scheme. That's pretty cool. He's got his, he went back to his old robotic face, not his, you know, Ninjago movie face with the yellow face. That's quite special. I do prefer Hero Zane in this set. Hero Zane looks pretty awesome because, I don't know, there's just something about that crossbow that makes him look pretty neat. And the fact that all these ninja look like crusaders really defines the mood here of these ninjas, of these figures. And then we've got Gleck, one of the gremlins, as I'm going to call them. I believe they're called also goblins. I'm not quite sure. But he has a stud shooter crossbow with a quiv at the back. Very nice. He does have a secondary face, kind of a freaked out face. And yeah, not a bad little, not bad for a small little guy like him. And then the other small little guy is Ginkgo. Ginkgo, very simple. He's got two of these daggers, torso print. He's got the hood on. He's got his other face. He's actually, I think he shares the same face as Gleck. So I'm pretty sure all these creatures share the exact same face. But this guy is pretty good, not gonna lie. I feel like definitely he's done pretty well. So there's that. Alright, and that wraps up the minifigures. It's time for the final verdict. Okay, well, the price of this thing is, I believe it was $70. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's $70 reduce. And not a bad creature. Not bad at all. The build of the Mino is done very nicely. You know, there's nothing left out. They put everything you need to look like on this rhino. If I had the Wakanda rhino from the superheroes and put that side by side, then perhaps I can really see the difference. But Lego doesn't fail to impress. Really love that use of the eyepiece, you know, to reduce production costs. That's pretty smart. Minifig selection, very nice. Of course, you get this thing for the game, and then the side builds, which are also for the board game. It's fine. It's nice. Side build's nice. It at least has some form of terrain. And yeah, so I'm gonna give this set a total of I'm gonna say a 7 out of 10. I just don't like how you see those Technic stuff there all kind of exposed on the neck. And yeah, and maybe like the tail. Wasn't really a big fan of the tail. Just really wish that was a better usage. But apart from that, that's all I gotta say for the set. And yeah, not a bad set at all. So next up, after this set, I believe I'll be doing the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, and I'm very excited to show you that. So if you want to see that, make sure to give this video a like. Ding 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 ding. That's something I've never done before. And subscribe to the channel for more, because I've got more LEGO content coming your way very, very soon. We'll talk to you again in the next one. Bye for now.